Welcome to the Jointery podcast, a podcast where we study the lives of study the lives of two dads trying to find the balance between the families, hobbies and work. This week on the Jointery, we discover
I had never worn Adidas before, but for some reason I thought that just looks cool, you know what I mean?
It lets us search for the meaning of life as it had never been witnessed before. The Jointery podcast.
Okay, so like my parents, right, are huge fans of this podcast, as we've talked about, right?
Yeah. Are we starting? I love how we never know when we're starting this thing.
I mean, we hit record, so technically any point after that point, we've started.
You're right. Okay, your parents.
Oh my god, dude. So they, like, my parents are huge, like, music people, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd say 5 years ago, maybe, they were probably going to over 50 concerts a year.
Holy moly. That's a lot.
Right. I mean, like, a lot of them were at this bar by their house that was like a blues bar, and they could just go see live music. Right?
Shows, not concerts necessarily.
Yeah, but yeah, they mix in
live music. Got you.
Dude, so you know how we were talking about, like, those concerts? The concert I went to last week, and that kind of rolled into the whole story about the Grateful Dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! You know how it is, like, when you're sitting there and like somebody says something, and then all of a sudden like a flood of memories hit you, right? They have so many memories from concerts and stuff like that they have not stopped hitting me up, telling me different stories about them sneaking into concerts. They're all like it's not about great concerts that they've went to. It's all about them sneaking into a concert.
So, like, all the different ways they snuck into concerts?
Yes. Okay. So, like, I'm going to run through some of the ways, because I'm not going to go into the whole conversation, and I don't want this to be a monopolistic thing about me talking about my parents, which I love my parents.
Can we do like the David Letterman top 10 list? Do you have 10 of them?
I mean, I know I have at least
number
3.
One way. So for the 10th way, our parents snuck into a concert.
Oh man, okay, wait. I mean, I guess I could do top 3.
Okay.
Right?
Well, let's do that.
Right,
yeah, go for it.
Okay. He's told me, I've heard at least 4 separate stories, right? I heard one where my dad told me that they went to a concert at a place called the Auditorium, right? And it was at a school, right?
Yeah, that's normally where an auditorium is.
Yeah, and what's great is that, like, my mom telling me these stories, right? They're all like, well, here's what happened, right? And my mom was just like, you think my mom's the innocent one. She's not. But my dad telling the stories, it's more of like a how-to, right? Here's how you break into a concert that's at a school, right? So he's like, we just went around the school to a different entrance, and we found a door that was open. We went into the school, up to the top, through the elevator, over to where the auditorium was, and we came back down through the back of the auditorium, right? And I'm like, well, first of all, Dad, they're pretty good at locking schools when people aren't there anymore. Like, that's just not it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't know that. So there was that, right? There's a sneak into the school story.
So the back
right?
elevator. Use the back elevator of the school. Okay, I got that one. Write that down.
Yeah.
Back elevator.
Okay, the back elevator. Okay. Gosh, it's hard. I'm trying to tell my favorite. Okay, so the next one. Oh man, yeah, my mom's still texting me. Okay, the next one is there's any of those concerts, right? Where, like, they stamp your hand, right?
Yeah.
They would have people go in to get their hand stamped, and then somebody would come back out, like, oh, I forgot something in my car, and they'd wet the back of their hand and press the backs of their hands together, so they both had the stamp on it. That was a popular one, I guess.
Yeah, the classic stamp transfer. Yep.
Yeah. But my 2 favorites, right, was they both told me this one where my mom, they wanted to go to a concert, so my mom hand drew basically a flyer, okay, on a piece of construction paper, with markers, okay, and they go to the concert, and by the way, she made it seem like it was the official production company for the concert, and that they were with the production company. That was the premise for them sneaking in, right? so they roll and the production company that my mom made up, right, was called Earth Star Productions. Okay, so yeah, they were hippies. So, anyways, so they go to the concert with this piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
And it's got like my mom's drawing on it, and they're like, "Yeah, this is our flyer, official flyer to get in here, right?" And it's raining, and all the ink on the thing is completely melting away. Right?
So like an actual concert, she's like, no, it was a fresh print. It was just a fresh print.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, it was print. Like they just printed this and it's melting. And my mom starts like yelling at the bouncer or some shit. I don't know. Like it's because they're both telling me the stories at the same time.
Yeah.
Like via text message or phone call, whatever. So it's hard to focus. But yeah, so basically they use that to sneak in. My mom bullied him, that's my mom's just general move is to cause so much chaos that people just let her through to so she gets what she wants. Like
it's easier just to get rid of her is basically what you're telling me.
Yeah. She gives the people a choice. Either I'm going to mentally and maybe physically exhaust you, or you're just going to do what I say because I'm going to make it real clear. It's going to be that much easier. My mom is a pro. I remember she returned like toys of mine that I'd already played with at Toys R Us, like the toys I get bored of. She'd like bring them back to Toys R Us, and it's like she would just drop them in the box, like it's fully assembled, right? It's probably broken. She'd be like, "This toy was stupid," and she'd harass the poor kid at Toys R Us until they let her return it. Like I don't know, but the number one, I'd say if there was a number one, it was my dad's story. He's like, you know what? Anytime they have those outdoor music festivals, he goes, what we would do is they would go there in a group, right? And you need some people to cause a major distraction, right?
Oh my goodness.
But basically, his story was that everybody run to the fence as fast as you can and just jump the fence, and everybody who gets in, right? And I'm like, Dad, it doesn't work like that anymore. Like, but then again, I do remember hearing stories about people, like a huge crowd of people sneaking into Lollapalooza. And he's like, look, once you're in the concert, what are they going to do, kick you out? And I'm like, yeah, that's like what you do when you don't have a ticket at a concert is you get kicked out. That's how that goes. So I'm pretty sure that my parents ruined all of this for us.
It's like the great, his theory on that one is like the great migration of the wallabies. They all come to the edge of the river, and then basically the river's full of crocodiles, which I'm assuming is like the fence of the concert. And eventually they all just bum rush the river, and whoever makes it. Whoever gets caught by the crocodiles gets caught by the crocodiles. It's just like,
yeah. I mean,
how does he get people to agree to this? First off, listen, we're not all going to make it, but it's for the greater good of the concert goers.
Nobody was sober. That's how you do that. They were all on drugs, right?
There you go.
And the last thing he tells me we talked this morning for a long time, and the last thing he told me before I was like, Dad, seriously, I have to like get work done today. He was like, just ask your mom about Kickapoo Creek and making false IDs while we were on the run. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
there's so many things in that sentence I want to pick apart right now.
Yeah, and I was like, in my head, I was like, look, man, you could either keep asking about this and dive down the rabbit hole or work today. There's no either or. Like, you gotta pick one. And I was like, well, I think the responsible thing is that, like that I work, I guess. So I was like, I gotta go, Dad. Yeah, and then my mom told me that like they were security at a police concert, and I'm like, who would make you guys security? She's like, I don't know, but we had shirts printed up and we were just on stage, and it wasn't clear if they were actually working there or they just had shirts printed that said security, and they just went backstage and went on stage. Like, I don't know, I have no idea,
that's the classic move,
I know
dude.
that they know, but like,
Oh, that's such a classic move. Going up on stage with the fake T-shirt, the security shirt. We do that. We do that on stage sometimes with our headset. As long as you, at some of these concerts, as long as you have a walkie-talkie and you look like you're walking with purpose, you can pretty much go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, I've worked a lot of events. I know how to sneak into events if the opportunity. But, my dad was giving me shit. He's like, well, you should have called me and invited me with you to go to that Dead concert. And I'm like, Dad, it was college, and it was a last-minute thing, and I was going with my fucking pot dealer, and you were 3.5 hours away. I'm like, what do you mean you wanted to go? And he's like, I would have made it. I'm great last minute. I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong, but like, oh my god, dude, it was
I'm
wild.
great last minute. That's something to be like. What is he known for? He is great last minute.
That's why I like.
There's so many things. There's so many things in that last sentence that your dad said to you. What the hell is? Well, first off, where is that place? He said. Second off, on the run. What does that mean? On the run? What,
Dude,
what does that mean?
look. I know that my dad and my mom, they were rebels, right? They did not live by rules.
Yeah.
They were like the establishment was mad at specific people. They were probably mad at they were at the at least I know my dad was at that Democratic National Convention in Chicago that happened like in the, I don't know, the 70s or 80s or whatever, where there was like a riot, right? Like 70s or 60s or 70s. Like there was a Democratic National Convention and there was like a huge riot, and I know my dad was there. They're like, we didn't go to Woodstock because we had already seen all those bands like recently, so we just didn't think it was worth it.
Wow.
And I'm like, otherwise they would have been there. I'm like, oh my god,
what a life! Yeah. Anyways, man, what a life,
dude. You know what? It's amazing. But you know,
dude. I mean, the amount of live shows they must have seen, and the amount of different acts, like the quality of acts they probably saw back then. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, they used to go on all these blues cruises. They really love blues music now, and so it's like the premise is like you get on a cruise ship, right? And you go, and there's performances all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of blues musicians on this boat with you. Right. So like they would say like, oh, we would watch them perform and then we'd be in like the dinner line together. Right. So they got to know like a lot of these artists. And like, so when they would come to their local bar that they love to see this blues music at, like they would get like personally greeted by the artist. Oh, Alan, Elise, like what's going on? Man, that cruise was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Yeah. I got to go do my set. It's great seeing you. Yeah, great. Take it easy.
That's so great, dude. I love that. They're people that they're in the know. You know what I mean? I love that.
Oh man, it's like, I think like part of me thinks I need to be writing these stories my dad tells me down, right? Because while he remembers them still, but like most of them are really crazy. Like I like talking about crazy shit on this podcast, right? And just letting it all out. But like I don't, I can't tell all of his stories.
Yeah, you gotta keep some of them for the memoirs, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the tell-all book comes out, so I don't know, but like him and his crew, like they were just raging. So, anyways, yeah. So, how are you doing, man? How has your week been, man?
Dude, I'm good, man. It's been a crazy week here. Just running around doing a bunch of stuff. I've made some sales this week, so that was cool. I actually sold a few things.
Oh, so your strategy of telling people you sell stuff worked?
Actually, posting really works. Let me tell you guys, if you actually put products out there for people to buy, they'll buy them. It's amazing. But no, it's been good. Been working my other gig a little bit. I did a USC basketball game last night, and I've done a few other things. My son came home sick from school.
Yeah.
He's got a day job. He's got to earn that money. 6 years old, get out there, earn that paycheck.
Oh boy, yeah, man, go get paid.
Man, things aren't free around here. Come on. No, but he came home sick from school on Monday, and so he's been home with me for the last couple of days. So that, I mean, and he's fine. I mean, I think it was like a little cold or something, but they brought obviously the COVID and the test and the all that, so he had to stay home until the symptoms were gone. Then we had to test him, and then he came back negative today, so he can go back tomorrow. So it's all good. We're safe on the COVID side.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, it's been good. I've been I've been just trying to make some stuff here in the shop this week. I made a little cutting board yesterday. I'm doing a giveaway for a mallet that unfortunately, by the time people listen to this, the contest will have ended. But I'm giving away one of my mallets that I started working on this week or last week. One of the new draw knife handle mallets that I'm making. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I tried not to enter too many times because I'm like, man, I'll win this thing, and then people are gonna be like, it was a fixed, it was a rig.
I know you
Like
are.
I want to.
Am I allowed to enter this? I'm like, of course you are.
Like I did, like 5 people. I'm like, that's probably a good amount. That's like a normal amount. I didn't go until Instagram warned me to stop. It's fine.
Yeah. But the funniest part about it is in the bottom of the thing, because it was just for my followers, right? That was for the content. It was like literally
Yeah.
only, you don't need to share it, you don't need to tell people about it, you don't need to whatever. Just comment, I want it, and you'll be entered. And I literally specifically said, don't share it. And lo and behold, the first person who shares it is you, of all people. You went out and you shared it, and I was like,
First of all, I don't read descriptions on posts. That's just not something I do. I saw you talking about giveaway. I'm like, it's my guy Ben. I gotta help him out.
I know.
Like,
It's just so funny, dude. I was just like, nobody else shared it except for you. You're the only one.
Also, look. If my parents gave me anything, it's the ability to just not really give a shit about rules. I'm sorry. I just.
So that's happening. I'm doing that, which is cool. I've never done anything that's just like, I want to give back directly to my followers. You know what I mean, and not like ask for anything from it. So it's cool. I felt good about it, and somebody's gonna get a kick-ass mallet. It's a, the mallet's awesome. It's just I didn't want to sell it because there's a few little things. There was a few little issues with it that I don't, feel comfortable asking for money for it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a nice mallet. It's a Babinga Purple Heart, and then the handle is hickory, and yeah, so that was fun. I'm doing that this week, and then what else do I got going on? I don't know. That's it. Podcast, this, that, family. But yeah, pretty much it for me. I mean, it's only Wednesday, so I still have a couple more days of the week to do stuff. So
Yeah.
but no, as far as what's going on in the shop and stuff, that's basically it. I'm trying to, come up with some new things to do. Oh no, I'm lying. I totally am lying. Fuck, dude, I totally forgot.
You're always lying.
I got a new tool this week. I got a few new tools this week, but the main one I picked up a drill press, dude. I picked up a vintage Craftsman drill press made by Atlas, and it's a 1940s drill press. And dude, it is beautiful. Is that when tools were made by people who actually cared what tools looked like? That's what this drill press looks like. It's just sexy looking, man. It's fucking really cool.
What did Lucas think of it?
Well, Lucas loved it, man. And the funny part about it is he's the one who obviously that's Lucas from Man Made in MA for all of you listening.
No, it's Man Made in Ma.
Man Made in Ma.
Yeah.
I give him a call, and he's like, I'm like, dude, check out this drill press I'm looking at. And he was like, I showed it to him, and he was like, hold on. And he ran downstairs to his shop, and he literally pans over to the exact same drill press he has in his shop. I mean, what are the chances? It's a pretty good chance that any drill press I showed him, he would have had in his shop, considering he has like 17 drill presses. But
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he's restoring the exact same drill press. So he was like super excited for me. He thought it was a great find, and
and it has that Incra table, which is super cool.
Yeah, that was the other high selling point for me. It came with the Incra drill press table, which is amazing. He's like, the table is worth whatever you're going to pay anyways, just for the table alone.
Yeah, I know, dude. Dude, I have an alert on all of the Craigslist, Facebook, whatever. Anything that comes out with the word Incra in the description, I'm like, send me a notification.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that stuff never comes on.
No. And I even tried to look this thing up to see what it's worth, and I couldn't find it. Like, I couldn't find a description anywhere. I couldn't find a price anywhere. I don't know if it's just really old. It was just something they made a long time ago, and they don't sell it anymore. I don't know, but I'm really excited about it. And then I got
that's cool.
I picked it up, and I'm buying this, and I got this from this lady Kathy, who lives in my mother-in-law's neighborhood, and her husband was a woodworker for 40 years or something, and he unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. and she's been kind of just sitting on the tools and not sure what she wanted to do with them. And I made her a desk out of an old tabletop of his that he had in his shop. I made her a cutting board out of an old couple some old wood in his shop, and just like some things that I was like trying to help her hold on to some sentimental value in some of the things, so
Yeah.
I made her a few of those. And she always, she just said, hey, when and if I'm ready to start getting rid of this stuff, you'll be the first person I call. And so just a couple of weeks, like last week, she reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm ready to start, getting rid of some stuff. So yeah, I went over there last weekend and uh picked that bad boy up and got a really cool old draw knife that was her husband's, and then old Stanley #7 hand plane, um,
Hmm.
and then a set of chisels. So and she was super excited to get pass the stuff along to me, and I'm really excited to have it and give it a new life. And so yeah, pretty stoked about that, man. And
I
what?
mean, that's what I would want to happen to my old tools. Like, if my
Mhm.
kids aren't going to take them and use them to do making shit, like I would want my wife to make sure they ended up in the hands of somebody who's going to appreciate them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you know, because look, I mean, if you own an Inker table, right? Like, you really appreciate tools, like good tools, right? And like, you're not going to want just to throw that on Craigslist and some dude's like, oh, chisels, like I'll give you $10. Like, dude, it's like expensive ass set of chisels. Like,
yeah. So
you don't even know what you're getting. You're gonna probably use them to open paint cans.
yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing, man. This guy was he was a true craftsman. He took excellent care of his tools. Everything's in really good shape, and everything's super sharp still. The chisels were all really sharp. The draw knife, I've already tried it. It was really sharp. I'm assuming the hand plane is. I haven't busted it out yet, or tried it out yet. But yeah, I was really excited, and I'm hoping that I can continue to go pick up some other stuff from her down the road, because she has a lot of things that are just gorgeous. He had a lot of cool tools, so hopefully I
You're
can
gonna end up. You're gonna sell that new truck, aren't you?
that's the hard part, is trying to convince Debbie, like, look, this is a opportunity, you know what I mean? I can't pass up this opportunity. So
Honey, I need to buy this lady's entire garage. You gotta stick with me here.
yeah, basically. So, but she's really cool. She's in no hurry either. Like, she's ready to start getting rid of stuff, but she's not in a hurry to like, she's not like, hey, this stuff has to go by Friday, So, I
Yeah.
got some time. I got some time to figure it out and save up to get the stuff I want. And it's cool. It's really it's a good experience. And she's really happy that this stuff's going to somebody, like I said, who's gonna give it a new life. So yeah, that's cool. What about you, man? What have you been up to? How's your shop going this week? How's family shop, everything? Tell me about it.
The shop is fun. I had my buddy come over. We worked on that fish tank stand,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is really interesting. I like it's like a workbench that you wrap with plywood so it looks like furniture.
Yeah.
Because it's got to hold over 600 pounds, right?
Whew.
So
That's a lot of weight to put on something you built, dude. How do you feel about that? How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling proud that it's not going to be at my house. Really, that's my main thing here. Look, I'm not really worried about the internal structure. Like, at this point, like I've done. I think I've done we did a pretty good job building that thing. It's very close to square, even with 2x4s, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Because like that was the hard part. Is like you got to use 2x4s to make this internal frame, and then you want to use plywood to sheathe it to make it look like furniture.
Yep.
But your support structure isn't exactly square. So like we had some issues where some stuff was like maybe like like a 16th of an inch off here or there out of square. But like I was able to fix most of it, and and now we were hoping to at least finish it, but I think we got another 4 or 5 hours left in this thing. So yeah, but it was fun. It was so much fun hanging out with my buddy in the shop all weekend. So that was great. And then
How
the other
heavy?
stuff
How
before-
How heavy is that thing?
I mean, it when we're done, it's basically be as heavy as 2 8-foot 4x8 sheets of plywood and 8 2x4s.
Oh wow, so yeah, that's gonna be
Imagine it's heavy. I mean, and we got to carry it up 3 flights of stairs when we get it to his house.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
Did you give him some sort of like disclaimer, like, look, if this thing falls apart and you get water all over your house, don't come looking at me. You know?
No, I'm just gonna tell him he built it. He was there the whole time we were building it. So I'm like, bro, you signed off on all of this. So don't tell me that we built this thing and now you got issues with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of it is good. I had some so with the kids stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Ellie turns 8 in April, right? And you know what she asked me this week was, "Dad, am I fat?"
Why would she?
And
what?
And I almost passed out. I was like, "Who cares? Look at me. I'm fat and I fucking love myself."
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, no." She's like, "I don't care." She's like, "I'm wondering if I'm fat or not." And like, she's got a little bit of a belly to her, right? She was born with that belly and she still has it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're 7 going to 8. I'm like, honestly, like, you're a really cute kid. I'm like, I don't think you need to be worrying about that. But so like, she asked me that, and I was like, I did like my wife has never asked me, do I look fat, right?
Yeah.
But like, so like, I was not prepared for that, and I was like, oh my god, like seriously. I'm like, well, I'm like, do you want to lose weight, or are there things about your body that you'd like were different, you know? And I'm like, trying to see where her mindset is at.
Yeah, because how do you talk to an 8-year-old or a 7 going on 8-year-old about that type of stuff? I mean, that's just like that's a heavy topic to get into.
Like, self-esteem stuff is not something I expected to have to deal with until she was like in her teen years. I was like,
yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so I've been trying to help her out with that by eating all of her snacks.
You're all, look, any snack that you think that you should pass on, just send my way.
I was thinking about that too before, like, I came upstairs to start recording the podcast. It's like, I went to Costco. Like, you buy snacks for the kids all the time. You don't know what they're gonna like and what they don't like. So like, it was my turn to get the snacks, and I picked up a box of mandolins at Costco. You ever had those? They're like the little
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the little cakes, whatever.
Yep.
And I was like, man, maybe they'll like them, maybe they don't. They're not in like a colorful package, so they're all individually wrapped. And like, so yesterday, I noticed that they got eaten pretty quickly, and I was like, damn it, I really wanted some of those mandolins. So today,
yeah, because time out. When you go shopping for snacks, and you say you think you're buying stuff that you're wondering, you're secretly buying stuff that you want to eat, right?
Well, it's a mix of that. It's a mix of stuff that I'm pretty positive they're gonna like, combined with stuff that, like, if they don't like it, I'm for sure eating it. And also, because, like, let's be honest, like, you hit up your kid's snack stash all the time, right?
Dude, I don't buy snacks for them. I buy snacks for me. They eat my snacks. That's what I'm saying. When I go shopping, it's not like, oh, the kids would really want this. I go, I'm really gonna eat half that box, and the kids are gonna eat whatever's left of it. So let's be honest.
Well, generally speaking, Jackie does not like me doing the grocery shopping. So, like, she doesn't mind me cooking, but she doesn't like me going to the grocery, because I get a little distracted when I'm in there.
Of course,
I'm in there it's like the same. They complain to me the same about going to the grocery store as they do about me going to the bathroom. They're like, he was in there too long. He must have been distracted. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah. And when he came out, we started asking him questions that he didn't have any answers. Like, that's like that description applies to either of them. So but I was like already at Costco, and she's like, well, get some snacks for the kids, And like, I was sitting there in front of, like, so I really wanted a mandolin, and we didn't have any, and I was all pissed because like we had this little, like, basket in the drawer, right? And some had not made it into the basket; they'd fell outside the basket underneath it.
Ooh.
So like, I lifted up the basket. I'm like, bonus mandolins. There was like 5 there,
Oh,
so I threw them into the basket, and I'm like, well, they'll be there later. No.
Well,
No,
that was a dumb
dude.
mistake. That was a rookie
Dude,
move.
It was a.
You find the bonus thing, you eat it right away, Luke.
I mean, I did eat one or two right away, but the point is I was really annoyed. So like they didn't have any, we didn't have any of those, and like I'm standing in front of like the pantry, and I'm like looking at the rest of their snacks, and I'm like, well, what do I eat? And I was just really annoyed. I couldn't find anything I like. What are your go-to snacks? What do you like to snacks? It's salty, sweet. Like what's your snacks of choice?
I'm a chocolate.
And I'm not talking. I'm not okay. I was gonna say not candy, but
No. I like chocolate just in general, like the chocolate flavoring. So like anything chocolate. Obviously candy, of course, but cookies. Oh, I'm an Oreos.
Like
Oreos.
What
guy.
snack? What's the snacks in your house right now that you'll cruise through? Oreos. What else?
I just finished the box of Hostess cupcakes, and I buy boxes of them. I don't buy the individual 2-packs. I buy boxes. So I go Oreo, I go Hostess cupcake. I always have a bag of chocolate chips in the refrigerator, cold, up in the butter section, section, like I'm at a store, the butter section, up in the butter section.
Yeah.
The refrigerator. Up in the butter, little flippy thing, which is like the worst design ever, by the way. How often does the fucking butter fall out of that fucking drawer thing? Like you forget to leave it open, you forget, and you slam the door, and the fucking butter falls out. It's just like,
dude, I love seeing the kids open up the fridge door and the butter falls out on their head. I love when that happens. Yeah. Like, sucker. And, but anyways, yeah. So, all right.
Not M&M's, chocolate chips, dark, by the way, not semi-sweet. I always go dark. And so Oreos, cupcakes, chocolate chips in the thing. And then usually I have some sort of ice cream in the freezer that we always like to go through. I make chocolate shakes a lot. So sometimes I'll buy the big tub of vanilla ice cream. And
have you seen Ben and Jerry's bites?
I don't know what those are yet.
So I don't know if they sell them at your grocery store, but at my grocery store, right, near the ice cream, you know, like with the Ben and Jerry's, they had like the cookie dough ice cream, the brownie ice cream, right?
Yes.
They sell in bags just the ice cream bits, or just the cookie dough bits, and just the brownie bits, right? So my wife brought home a bag of brownies. They're like a centimeter by a centimeter by a centimeter, right? And they just throw them in the ice cream, and they were like, "We could just sell this shit without the ice cream. Watch this." And dude, I saw those in the freezer, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I did not tell the kids at all about that. I was like,
no! I would have hid those.
Yeah, like they don't look for new snacks. They just, they're not creative with their. They don't find my stash.
Dude, yeah, no, we don't have we have a candy drawer in our house, a whole drawer dedicated to just candy, and so that's and that's Debbie's drawer. She is a candy freak. But yeah, snacks are, I mean, dude, anything chocolate. And then I like potato chips. That's my other thing. So like that's where I get
sweet
my
and salty, bro.
Yeah, that's where I get my salty and sweet. And then also something fun I do is I like to take pretzels. I take the pretzels, the original shaped pretzels, not the sticks. The sticks are cool and everything, but I like actual like pretzels, And I take those and I put them in a bowl, and then I take my chocolate chips and I pour them into the bowl with the pretzels, and so I got the chocolate chips and the pretzels. Fucking dude, I'm in heaven.
Have you ever dipped French fries in a milkshake?
Bro, anytime I go to In-N-Out, that's that. You go. I usually, when I was younger, not as much anymore, but when I was younger, I would forego the soda for the chocolate shake when I'd go to In-N-Out. So I'd go burger, fries, chocolate shake instead of burger, fries, soda, and the fries inevitably end up in dipping. Yeah, it's a must. McDonald's also is good too for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went into a McDonald's this week, like not to the drive-through, like into the restaurant this week.
Oh, you ate in a McDonald's?
No, I did not eat. I ate in my car like a civilized person. No,
okay.
I did not eat the McDonald's, but I went in there because I had to go to the bathroom, right? And it was funny, man. It was a funny little experience, but it led me to a question I want to ask you. So I get out of my car and I'm walking to the McDonald's, and there's like a dude there selling tracksuits in front of the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Like those Adidas tracksuits, right? The knockout tracks. And
The
he looks at me.
Run DMC LL Cool J style tracksuit. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
And he looks at me, and clearly he sees I'm a big dude. He's like, yo. He's like, you got a son? I was like, motherfucker, like if you don't have my size, like don't try to hock me on buying a tracksuit jacket for someone who might be the size that you have. Like, chill out, bro. You see I'm walking into McDonald's. Like, you're gonna run. This is part of your potential clientele is gonna be like me, bro. So just get over it. Like,
that's a salesman. That's a good salesman right there, though, man. He saw obstacle, and he looked past that obstacle and tried to find a way around it.
Dude, I should start as salespeople of exclusively homeless people, like people with drug problems, man. That would be the greatest sales, because they're not going to let you off the phone until you buy some shit. But
you look like a tracksuit guy, though. You don't have any tracksuits?
I have 3. What are you talking about? Of course I have tracksuits.
Oh, okay.
I have a velour tracksuit.
Oh, dude, next podcast, you got to wear the velour tracksuit, dude.
Dude, we can have tracksuit day on the podcast.
I don't own any. I want one. I need to get me one. I need to get me
man.
Dude, so funny. When I got out of boot camp in the Navy, I went straight to the mall in Chicago, right? Because I got out of Great Lakes, and I go straight to the mall in Chicago. And you've probably been to this mall. I don't even know what it's called anymore, but I went straight to the mall, and I went because you get paid, right? So you have money right out of boot camp. So I went and bought some fresh outfits, right? So like one of my outfits was like everything Adidas. You know what I mean? I didn't go tracksuit, but I went Adidas shoes, Adidas pants with the stripes. And then I had an Adidas jacket. It wasn't. I guess it might have been a tracksuit, but it wasn't like the LL Cool J style tracksuit. You know what I mean? It was more like separate pieces. But I had those 3 stripes on me everywhere, man. It was so funny,
dude. I love rocking those. Yeah,
I don't even know why. I had never worn that stuff. I had never worn Adidas before, but for some reason I thought that just looks cool. You know what I mean?
It's because of Run DMC, dude. That's exactly why, dude. Like even if you're not the biggest Run DMC fan, you're like, those tracksuits were dope, though. Yeah. And LL Cool J had them. Like those tracksuits were really dope.
They were, dude. Anyways, we got.
Oh, wait, so I want to ask you about
you gotta have tracksuit nights. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm in the McDonald's though, and I was looking at it, and they had this huge sign in the McDonald's, and it said "Salads are back," right? And like I'm like sitting there waiting there because I really had to go to the bathroom was my main priority.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm not gonna leave here without some chicken nuggets. So I'm sitting there waiting in line, and I'm looking at this sign, and I'm thinking to myself, have you ever gotten a salad from a restaurant with a drive-through?
No. You're barking up the wrong tree here, my friend.
Well, I mean, but so that's what I thought, because I was like. Immediately, because we talk so often, I was like looking at it. I'm like, well, that is a hard pass. And I'm like, I wonder if Ben would do it. And then my mind just kind of like wandered, and I was like, who's the kind of person who orders salads at McDonald's, right? Like, who is that customer base? Like, I get it. Like McDonald's got a lot of shit about not having a lot of healthy options, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they like added apple slices to their menu.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm like, who's getting that salad? I know at the location I was at, they probably haven't sold a salad in years. But I'm just saying, in general.
It's the people who eat enough McDonald's that they eventually feel bad. And they're like, oh, I got to toss in a salad every once in a while. And so they, they'll still go to McDonald's for their salad, though. That's the thing. They won't go anywhere else. They're still going to go to McDonald's and get their salad.
I mean, like, if I know I need to eat healthier, but like if I'm eating healthier, like, and I'm like salad, there's a grocery store across the street from this McDonald's that I know has like a really nice salad bar, and I'm like, man, maybe you just need a $4 salad. Like maybe that's your situation.
maybe the one vegetarian in the family eats the salads. You know what I mean? Like
All the salads had meat in them. They all had meat.
oh,
They had bacon or chicken or something. Like, they all had meat. It's not a vegetarian option.
no.
Like, I think their vegetarian option is a burger hold the patty.
You mean a sandwich hold the fucking meat? Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that bathroom was really clean. I was very happy about that experience.
Cleanest bathroom in Chicago. It's like that fucking Seinfeld.
I mean,
it's that Seinfeld episode where George he knows where all the clean bathrooms in New York.
Oh man, I used to work with this one guy, who was like that. He knew where the office was because he never wanted anybody in the office to see him doing anything more than peeing. Right?
Yeah.
So anytime he had to like drop a deuce, he had like 3 or 4 locations that he would go to, and the main one that he would go to was a hotel across the street. Like
smart.
Yeah. So
occasionally I'm the same way, dude. It's not that I'm the same way, but I prefer to do that stuff in private. You know what I mean? Like if I can figure out a way to find a bathroom. There was a bathroom when I worked at ESPN in LA, right? There's a LA Live is where the place is, and it's a pretty, there's a lot of buildings, a lot of restaurants in this one area, right? And it's a pretty large building, and there's a parking garage underneath. And I would literally go down to the 3rd level of the parking garage because I knew there was this one bathroom that was always empty. Nobody was ever there. And so it would be an extra 2 minutes out of my day to get to this bathroom where I could do my stuff in private. Easy peasy. You know what I mean? Like that was, I'm definitely that. Oh,
I heard the door rattle. It might be Elvis. So.
Oh, okay. I thought we were getting interruption number 1. I was excited.
Oh man, I'm in a look. If I'm home, but you bring the kids home before 5 o'clock is rarely any interruptions, right? Like after school, they got plans. They got stuff to do.
Do they do homework? Do they do homework right away, or do they do things before homework?
Well, Bubs doesn't really have homework.
They don't have homework in kindergarten for him.
Not like they have a couple little things for him to do, but Ellie has homework, and so sometimes she'll do it. Other times, I'll go fight with her to go do it after 5 o'clock because usually I want her to have an opportunity to play, and then she also will do homework with the neighbor girl. So because they're in class together.
I usually give them at least an hour after they get home. Frankie gets home half day, so he's here for hours before Penny. But when Penny gets off, I usually give her an hour to do whatever she wants to do, and then at 4 o'clock, homework time. Get that knocked out. Yeah. So that way, you can just have fun the rest of the day. What's the point?
Yeah.
So, dude, I've been wanting to talk to you about.
Hi.
We did get interruption number 1.
She opened the door, blew me a kiss, and left.
Oh, that's the perfect interruption.
She's buttering me up, dude. No, it's not. She look, my daughter is the master of if you're gonna ask for something you think you get no as an answer to, she will find the right time to ask. Right?
Yep.
So clearly she opened the door and she's like, I want to ask Dad something, and she sees that the computer's on. I got the microphone on. I got the headphones on. She knows that if she asks me, her likelihood of a yes is already cut to 50% before she even asks, right? So
that's interesting because in my household, my kids look at any time I'm distracted as an opportunity to get what they want. You know what I mean? Because that's when I'm easily just go, do whatever you want, do it. Just leave me alone. You know what I mean? So it's my daughter's got that figured out.
I love when we're talking on the one of the many times we're talking that's not on the podcast, and you'll put me on mute and I can see you yelling at your kids. It's my favorite. You're like, hey dude, hold on a second, and then I see your head turn to the side. And you're like, I'm like, and then you're like, yeah man. So anyways, I was saying, I'm like, bro, you just turned it on and off so quickly, man. That's incredible. You just blasted your daughter, man. Jesus Christ.
Hey, dude, it's some things are for people to hear and some things aren't for people to hear. And when I'm yelling at my kids, I don't need other people to hear that.
They haven't figured out that distracted thing though. But they know that when I'm busy, it's a good time to ask for things. But if it's something that Ellie's asking me, and she really wants me to say yes to it, and she thinks I'll say no, she will actually come up to you. She's like, "Hey, are you busy?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and she'll be like, "Okay, I'll come back," and I'll be like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Well, I wanted to ask you something, but if you're busy, I don't think this is the right time." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Well,
And I just let her go.
It's very mature of her for her age. My kids will just sit there and dad, can I ask you, dad, can I ask you this, dad? Hey, dad. Yeah, your daughter's way ahead of my maturity level here.
Well, it's why I think that like I had lunch today with a buddy of mine who's like in his 70s, and like we're talking about he's talking about his grandkids and I'm talking about the kids, and he's like, "What do you think Ellie will grow up to be?" I'm like, "Well, she's gonna probably be a politician because she loves lying and she loves manipulating people. So like that is the perfect job for her to have. Like you want to feed people a bunch of bullshit and take advantage of them. Like go into politics. That's what they do. So." President Ellie, and I told him, I said, and Bubs is in training now to be an evil mad scientist. So,
dude, that is so awesome. Dude, one day, I don't remember what it was, like last week or a week before. We were talking, we were just bullshitting and on FaceTime, and Ellie came into your office, and like she would not leave you alone. I mean, she was all over you, and I kept waiting for you to have one of those moments where you were like, "Hold on, Ben," and like you like sent her out or something, but you never did. Yeah. You went the opposite route. You were like, "Look, I got to deal with my daughter. She's I got to spend time with her," and you sent me away, which was which is fine, obviously. But I just thought it was interesting, and I meant to say, that's kind of cool that you have that priorities.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I mean, like, I don't know, man. We got so few years left where they actually want to even talk to us, right? Or be around us, that it's like, I'm just gonna, is that Frankie right now?
No, it's Debbie. She just walked in. She was
a wife interruption. Is she on her lunch break?
She is on her lunch break. Come say hi, babe.
Hey, Debbie.
Come say hi. I'm talking to Luke. We're recording the podcast.
This is our first podcast guest. Hey,
yeah, first podcast guest. I thought Ben was always just the guest.
He it's my podcast. Ben's the guest. No, it's Ben and my podcast. He is a co-host.
Oh,
He's never been a guest on a podcast, nor will he ever be a guest
on a podcast. I know, it's true. He almost was, but apparently not anymore.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, you can see.
I'm so happy to be the first guest. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
I'm famous.
Man, yeah. You gotta. Oh, she's leaving.
She's out. She's got to go sleep. She comes home for like 30 minutes to nap during the day. That's what she does.
I was just gonna say, like, hey, Debbie, you want to give us like a 2-minute rant where you just talk shit about Ben the whole time?
Dude, we don't have she needs longer than 2 minutes. Are you kidding me? We'd have to do a whole nother hour.
Do you hear?
I did hear that.
Do you hear that screaming?
What was that?
That was Bub screaming about. Oh, God.
That sounds like a good one.
It's not. He said, "Mom, you hurt my feelings." So Jackie just told him something he can't do. So this is why we have the podcast when the kids are home usually.
I love it when Frankie says stuff like that to me. Like when they're so like when they make those those statements that are just so above their age level, where it's like, "You hurt my feelings." It's like, really? It's so funny.
Oh, what did he tell Jackie the other day? It was
his other thing is like he says, "I'm furious," which is hilarious to me.
He had said something like, God, I wish I could remember it. It was a very adult word that was it was like, you are like being condescending, or you're like, or like you are like something. It was a very adult word.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like,
It like catches you off guard, right? You're like, where did that come from?
I mean, Bubs is I love that little villain. But yeah, so he I don't know, man. I know as soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna walk into a firestorm of Bubs and Ellie and Jesus.
What?
It's something about me. Anyways, what was the show you were gonna talk about?
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot I brought that up. I wanted to actually talk to you about that last week because you actually told me to watch Reacher, the show
Yes.
on Amazon Prime, and I hadn't watched it yet. I hadn't started it yet, and I didn't know any of the background other than the movies that Tom Cruise did. The two movies, Jack Reacher and Jack Reacher 2, and and which at the time, I thought were decent, decent movie. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, a little unrealistic. Tom Cruise kicking the shit out of 7 or 8 guys at a time, but it's a movie. You let stuff like that go. But once you kind of explained, what are you breaking stuff over there?
I just was playing with these TIE fighters I have at my desk, the reject TIE fighters, and like I 3D printed this piece to go with something else, and I was fitting them together, and I was like, oh my god, this piece is the perfect width to fit between the points on this TIE fighter, and I was like, maybe I could stick a second one on here.
I'm glad. I'm glad that this is what you're thinking about when I'm talking to you.
Well, I was really thinking, and then all of a sudden it exploded, and I was like, oh my god, like I should not be playing with. This is the problem. Look, this is how I am though. Like I'm the kind of person who will doodle in the entire meeting, and everyone's like, well, Luke wasn't paying attention. He was doodling the whole time, and they'll be like, and then they talk to me. They'd be like, so what'd you think about the meeting? And I would give them a detailed recap, and they're like, I thought you weren't paying attention. I'm like, well, you thought wrong.
Your brain needs to be doing 2 things at once.
Dude, my brain needs to be occupado. Anyways,
so yeah,
I'll put the toys down.
Okay. No, anyways, I was just saying from the difference between how you explain the story, because I guess it's a graphic novel or something, or there's many.
No, it's a book. It's a book series.
Book. Oh, it's a book series. Okay. So anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, Luke, kind of fill them in. Reacher.
Yeah, Reacher is a ex-military special investigator who basically retires early from the military and becomes a nomad, like a one-man A-team. He just basically wanders around the United States.
That's a great description. Ugh.
Yeah, and he wanders around the United States and he runs into bad situations and he kills as many people as he needs to kill to make it better.
Which is so crazy to me. Like it's funny. Like I totally enjoyed it, right? I fucking was hooked. And so the reason I wanted to bring it up is because, and the reason I brought up Tom Cruise is because clearly, like the books you were explaining and the character who plays it in the new show, he's a giant. I mean, you explained that the reason he is who he is and why he's so like physically, like he's like intimidating, you know what I mean? Like he's like super intimidating to people because he's how big he is. I mean, and this guy who plays him in the TV show on Amazon he's like Arnold. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins, but actually 6'6". But the body size, like how big he is muscle wise, he's just a giant.
I mean, he's bigger than Thor, and like at least Chris Hemsworth when he was Thor, and like,
oh yeah,
like you imagine a dude walks like that guy is like the kind of person he walks into a room, and anybody in that room, regardless of your size, would be like, holy shit, that's a big dude.
Yeah, like, yeah. But anyway, so that show was great.
How far into it are you?
I'm done. I finished it. I got hooked, and I just watched and watched and watched every night. I watched a new episode. And so I was done in like, I think it was only like 9 or 10 episodes or something. And so I was done quick. But dude, it was.
I love that show
awesome.
where like his ex partner like goes there and like, so like you're gonna have to start killing some people, aren't you? And he was like, oh, I've already started.
Yeah. Yes, dude. That's the other thing is like, how is he not in prison? Like, he just kills everybody, and like he never gets away, and he never gets in trouble for it because he always has like a reason or an explanation why, or like
He's because he was a special investigator.
Yeah.
And like he knows, like, well, if I do some shit and I don't want to get caught, like here's how to do it.
Anyways, check out Reacher on Amazon. Not sponsored, by the way. Just
I wish.
Yeah, someday maybe. It was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and it was I give your suggestion a big thumbs up, my man.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta go see what this cast is, and it's been an hour now, and we said we were gonna stick to an hour. So
yeah. Let's get out of here. But before we go, you got any shout outs? Because we definitely need to shout out our Patreon our Patreon followers.
Yep.
We got to figure out a better way to go. Trevor, our friend Trevor at Madeira Design, he thought we should call our Patreon people jointers.
I thought we were just gonna call them fat kids.
So the jointers.
Yeah, the jointers. All right, Trev, we're gonna work on that, man. Thank you for the suggestion.
Anyways, but dudes, yeah, we got Patreons, people. If you guys would love to support us out there in this community, out there, all you lovely people listening to this podcast, we have a Patreon. Go find us at Patreon and look up the Joinery Podcast, and you can find us there. And we have different levels you can support us at, and we're trying to maybe get on a different audio service to give you guys better quality audio soon, amongst other things. So yeah, super excited. Let's go. Who we got?
So I guess I'm going off of memory because I did not pull it up before we started because I'm a professional.
There's only 4. We should be able to remember all 4 of them.
Yeah, I remember all 4. There is Lee from Regal Street.
Yes.
Our guy Lee.
You guys realized the other day, I don't know Lee's last name.
Regal. Just kidding.
That's not his last name.
No, it's like Omen or something.
It's for Omen. That's what it is. I do know that. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. So, but people where their Instagram is not their name, I definitely get that because it's like everybody's like their trucker call sign. It's like
exactly.
And then we got Matt from the Wooden Mustache,
and his last name is Gerard. By the way, I figured it out this week.
It's probably that.
It's close to that, anyways.
He's gonna be real proud of you. Yep. And then our first Patreon, which is Kyle Foot, the footwork woodworking footman.
Foot Clan.
And our newest Patreon is Mike Holmes from Broken Lead Woodworks, which that guy is the guy who did the funniest remix of a reel. There was like where he was dragging himself across the floor.
Yes.
And like I said, like, dude, I'm like, big guys like us, man. I'm like, that was some funny shit. And he was like, yeah, man. He was like, I was like 2 days off of surgery. He goes, I was in an incredible amount of pain. like, why did you do that? He was like, I don't give a shit. I'm like,
for the cause, man. For the cause.
I'm like, this is why we're friends. So yeah. So Big Mike.
That was Adrian from Hickory Homestead Creations reel that he was remixing, right?
Yeah. And she's my shout out for the week because she's been doing that really cool Maker's Stoop news.
Yes.
Where it was news about what's going on in our community, which is so fucking smart. Like, and I'm sure Adrian will hear me say this and be like, wait, me? She's a smart woman. And so she's been doing that, and I think it's been awesome. So she's given back, and I appreciate it.
And I think Paul at 1116 Woodworks is helping her with that as well, but I could be wrong. But I know they were at some point working together.
She's got a crew. Eric from No Bad Tides is there.
Yep.
He would be my other shout out this week because he just got his book was just published. But Eric is a part of that. There's like 4 people who are part of that Maker Stoop news thing.
That's awesome. I love it too. It's such a great idea.
I told her she needs to build like a mini news desk and do a video every week reporting from behind it.
Shut up, dude. That would be fucking classic because she would be great at it. She would.
My god,
dude, she would be so good at that. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much again to them because they've out of the blue without any prompting or asking or anything. They've shot us out like twice. Like they did it a couple weeks ago, and then they just did another shout out for us this last week. So thank you,
Really
guys.
nice. Thank you.
You guys are killing it, and such a great idea.
And we look forward to you becoming Patreons because we just mentioned your name. Thank you again.
Oh yeah. By the way, Trevor said the other day is like, I better become a Patreon. You guys mentioned me so much on this damn podcast. So
I mean, look, Trevor is a good friend of the program.
Still waiting, Trevor. By the way, that was like 3 days ago. You told me that, and I haven't seen your name pop up on the Patreon list. So still waiting.
As good as he is at social media is as bad as he is with technology. So like, he's probably just not figured out the website yet.
You're probably right. That giveaway we did with him. Every time you sent him something, he's like, I don't know how to do that. I can't find that. I email? What's an email? I don't even know what an email is.
Oh, God.
My shout outs this week are for Tiffany Marchand from Night Carver Designs, because she's just been killing it out there in real life in the community, and they just did Workbench Con, and she hosted that, and she killed it there, and she's just an awesome follow. So guys, if you don't know Tiffany from Night Carver Designs, go out and follow her, because she's just killing it right now, and she's a true inspiration out there amongst the community.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love Tiffany. We talk all the time. So
yeah, she's a good follow. And then my other shout out this week goes out to my man Jason Sullivan up there. Jason Sullivan at j.m.sullivan Woodworks up there in the Newfoundland area of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this guy is like the community cheerleader, dude. Like, honestly, it seems like he's highlighting everybody's accounts. He's always willing to help out. He's out there, anytime I see him on Clubhouse or anywhere else, he's always looking to help people and give, search things for them, or, talk to companies on their behalf. Like, he's always going above and beyond. So I would love to shout him out, and you guys go check out Jason.
You know how I know I like Jason a lot? Because every time I talk to him, I give him an incredible amount of shit about anything and everything. Yes. Like, he's always so nice. He's like, hey, man, I was looking at this, and I had this idea, and I was thinking of you, and I was like, screw your idea, you friggin' foreigner. I don't know. I didn't say that. But, I was just like, I'm just really mean to the guy. But then I'm still nice. I try to be nice. He's a great guy, and I want him to think I don't appreciate it. Because he was messaging me about some ideas today, and he was like, why don't you make a Luke in the Garage magnet? I'm like, who the fuck would buy that? He was like, I don't know. I'm like, exactly. Like,
but dude, he's always coming up with ideas, man. He's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
He's an idea guy. Yeah. So, anyways, those are our shout outs for the week, guys. Stick around every week. At the end of the podcast, we're going to shoot people out. Talk about highlight people that we like and that we're interested in. And it's not always going to be people on Instagram. It's going to be anybody out there in the world that we want to highlight. So be ready for that. We just the last few weeks we've been talking about our friends on Instagram, but we're going to be expanding these shout outs outside of this area. So
yeah, there's a lot of good people. There's a lot of good people out there.
Yeah. So
including Jason. I'm clear. A foreigner comment was. I didn't mean to be rude about that, Jason.
No, I love Jason also because he pronounces it "garage" when he's going out to the garage. He says "garage." So yeah.
All right, man. We did it.
Woo! Then get us out of here the way we always get out.
I need a tagline. If you guys got an idea for a tagline, let me know. Balls, taken. But I really do like it. It's our placeholder. Balls.
All right, guys. We'll talk next week. Bye.
This has been a ConMan Creative production. Text us anytime at 908 768 2664 or send us a message on our Instagram, thejointery podcast. You can find Ben at Conderosa Creations or Luke at Luke in the Garage, everywhere that social media is sold. That's garage, not garage. Say it properly.